Next we have Benjamin Hampton, who's athletic director and head football coach at North Rowan High School. Earlier today, our school nutrition director, Lisa Altman, big shout out to Lisa, told us about the nutrition programs that are being used to feed kids in Rowan-Salisbury Schools. Coach Hampton is here to talk about how crucial those programs are for keeping student athletes ready to play their best. So they'll all get to be Roscoe's.
How's everybody doing today? Well, I got Miss Altman contact me, asked me if I'd be willing to come speak. And I said, sure, I love the opportunity to be in front of a crowd. Didn't know I was going to have to follow up. I think Kelsey had about 5 or 6 suffixes after her name. And then you got Roscoe, who's playing for Chapel Hill. Complicate matters even worse, I'm a Duke fan, so, you know. But no, I just wanted to come touch base on a couple things we're doing at North Rowan High School that have really elevated our kids to the next level athletically. And Kelsey touched on a lot of it with just getting food in their body. Yeah, to a certain extent, you don't want them to eat a bunch of junk food and stuff like that. But as a teenager, if we can just get them to eat, I don't really care what they're eating as long as they're eating. And we always compare it to driving a car. You know, our kids will come to practice and we're in period 3 and they're like, Coach, man, my stomach's hurting. I said, well, did you eat lunch? Well, yeah, I ate lunch. I said, well, did you eat supper snack? No, I just wasn't feeling it today. I said, well, all right, I'm gonna go get my truck and the gas lights on and I'm gonna try to drive to Charlotte. How do you think that's gonna work out for me? And we kind of try to put it together like that. But we actually, at North Rowan High School, our population is 65% minority. In Rowan County, we're the closest thing to an inner city school that we have. I think we're almost 70% free and reduced lunch. So, you know, we're getting up there as far as that's concerned around statewide numbers. All our kids are entitled to a free breakfast and a free what we call supper snack. And that supper snack has kind of built over the past couple of years. We started with just a free after school snack. They'd go in, get a cheese stick and a bag of chips and a juice. Then they went to what we have supper snack now, which is wraps, burgers, sandwiches, chips and salsa, flatbread pizzas. I'm knocking on the door, Miss Doreen's like, Coach Hampton, we can't give it to you. You got to get out. It's just for the kids. You know, we do what we can, but our kids have come to rely on that. And, you know, the double-edged sword of speaking at 2:45 is a lot of people have already said what I was going to say. The other benefit to that is I've taken notes on what some people have said, and Dr. Cohen earlier stated I think there was 112 school districts that are eligible for this program, our supper snack program, and only 18 school systems are taking advantage of it right now. The benefits to that is our kids get a meal every day. They don't know they're going to get it when they go home. They don't know if they're going to have supper when they get home. Or they may get it and take it to a teammate who they know will not have anything to eat when they get home. Come to school in the morning for breakfast, maybe they already had breakfast. They'll still go get that breakfast and they'll pass it to a teammate or someone else that they know is not going to have that meal that day. And they touched on it earlier as well. On exam days, we're 527 kids, and on exam days, we've got 400 plus in the building because they know they're going to eat when they come to school. And as far as our nutrition services, they're going to eat pretty good. Miss Doreen, our cafeteria manager at North Rowan, General So chicken, out of this world. You know, our kids will say General Sal, General Tussauds, just give me spicy chicken. And they love it. But I did want to give a shout out to Miss Doreen. She's sitting back there in the back. She takes care of us. Like I said, 527 kids at North Rowan High School, and I bet you maybe a dozen of them don't know her by name. She comes to all our athletic events. She'll talk junk to them in the hall if they didn't have a good night. She really builds up our athletics programs in particular, let alone the entire school. When I first started in the school system, my dad, who was in it for 43 years as a teacher and principal, told me, your best friend needs to be the lunch lady. So when I got to North Rowan High School, met Miss Doreen, you know, run into her and her husband at breakfast on the weekends. They come to ball games. Finally, she was like, look, if we're going to follow you around, at least you can give me a pass to get in the game for free. Said touche. So, but Miss Doreen really takes care of us. And that breakfast, we actually have a kiosk that is set up on the other side of the building from our cafeteria. So students have two options where they come in from the car rider line in the main hallway, or they can go to the cafeteria coming off the bus lot to get that free breakfast. And like I said, it may be a kid that their mom and dad took them to Bojangles on the way to school, but they know that their best friend, who also plays sports with them, needs that breakfast. And so they'll go get their muffin, so now that kid has two muffins to eat. And you know, it's a community that we've built. Our kids are just like everybody else is here, you know, come from bad situations, come from good situations, but they're all a family, we're all a unit, and they try to take care of each other. The other thing I want to touch on with the supper snack are away games. Miss Doreen, I am a teacher, I'm the athletic director, I'm the head football coach at North Rowan High School, so my plate gets pretty full. I send Miss Doreen schedules before the season starts. On days that I get busy and forget, she'll send me an email about 9 o'clock in the morning. Coach, you got an away game today. Do you need supper snacks? Yes, Miss Doreen, I'm sorry. I'll send you a roster. And so I send her a roster 30, 45 minutes before they got to leave. She has the coolers packed, ready to go. We send a couple kids to pick them up, put them on the bus. Now we know those kids are going to eat dinner once they've played in their field of competition. So. And the last thing I'll leave y'all with is, I've never been to a conference like this, really had no idea what I was coming to when they asked me to come. I was like, sure, I'll go, you know. I mean, we're gonna get free food, and that pretty much says enough for me right there. But, you know, I was more than happy to come up here, but just hear the stories and the testimonies from everybody sitting here is just amazing. The fact that our kids have this group to rely on to put food in their bellies and to be able to strive and be successful, that's hats off to everybody in here. So thank you for having me.